Hello students. Today we want to discuss use of transitional words for academic writing. Transitional words have different names, for example, linkers and discourse markers, connectives. Basically, they connect thoughts, ideas, and Aristotle has mentioned that a text must have unity of text, unity of ideas. So a text should be a well knit and well connected piece of writing. So these transitional words must be used frequently in your academic writing. If they are not present in your writing, it means your language is not academic. So every student of research must inculcate these transitional words in their writings. In every paragraph, there should be two or three transitional words must be added. If you have not thought about these transitional words, you must include them in your writing after watching this video. You shows a sequence: first, second, third, then after, afterwards, since, before, when, whenever, until, as soon as long as, while, again, also, besides, finally, furthermore, last, moreover, next, still, too. I'm not demanding that you should memorize each and every word. You can put these words in front of you. You can print these slides and you can put in front of you. And in the beginning, intentionally, you choose different required words and you include them in your research. Or second step is that you should memorize at least 5 words from each section so that you can use them. Sequence means if you are writing a procedure, you will mention first, second, third, or afterwards. Or if you are writing chronological literature review, you will also use that afterwards, furthermore, in addition to it. To show cause and effect, in research we must mention cause and effect. Therefore, thus, consequently, as a result, for this reason, so that, accordingly, because, for this purpose, hence. Hence is an archaic word. Thereupon, to this end. Here, to this end mean for this purpose. Since. Since is used with the point of time, but here since is also used to describe cause. We also compare in research, especially pre-test and post-test, they are compared. Similarly, likewise, in like manner, also, in fact, actually, indeed, certainly, again, in the same way, once more, by the same token. To contrast, we show two opposing things. Because when we are writing, we also show the opposite side of the coin. Or every study has some limitations. While you are writing limitations, you must mention these contrasting words. However, on the other hand, in contrast, conversely, but yet, on the contrary, nevertheless, nonetheless, still, notwithstanding, despite, still, although, even though, in spite of, instead, regardless. To show addition, when you add something, and in addition, also, furthermore, moreover, besides, next, again, to, second, third, another, finally. To indicate time, before, now, after, afterwards, subsequently, later, earlier, meanwhile, in the meantime, while, as long as, so far, after, a bit, after a few days, after a while, next year, as soon as, at last, at length. At length mean eventually. This is not the literal meaning of length. At that time, before, earlier, immediately, in the meantime, in the past, lately, presently, shortly, simultaneously when two things are occurring at the same time, since, then, thereafter, until, when. To give examples, we exemplify, for example, for instance, specifically, namely, when you want to name something to illustrate, that is, in particular, after all, even, indeed, in fact, of course, such as the following example. To generalize, while you are writing implications, you generalize the things. In general, for the most part, as a general rule, on the whole, usually, typically, to emphasize a point, indeed, in fact, as a matter of fact, even. To show place, above, adjacent to, below, beyond, closer to, elsewhere, far, farther, on, here, near, nearby, opposite to, there, to the left, to the right. To show qualification. Qualification does not mean academic qualification. Qualification mean how many times do you perform some activity. Frequently, often, usually, in general, occasionally, provided. Provided mean provided that is used when we discuss some condition. In case, unless, when, since, because, for, if. To signal concession mean when we permit something. Uh, of course, naturally, although it's true that, granted that, I admit that, it may appear that, although, though, no doubt, to be sure, whereas, of course, doubtless, undoubtedly, certainly, surely, to conclude or summarize, while you are writing concluding sentence of every paragraph, you should use this word. Or if you are writing the concluding section of your thesis or research paper, you should use them. In conclusion, to conclude, in summary, to summarize, in short, in other words, therefore, thus, in reality, as a result, as has been noted, as I have said earlier, as we have seen, as we have observed, as mentioned earlier, in any event, on the whole, therefore. So, I want to conclude this lecture that you should include these transitional words in your research. There must be present 3 to 5 transitional words in your each paragraph so that your writing should become an academic language. Because when we are writing a research paper, we are writing that research paper for academic community. So we must follow the norms as academic community follows. Thank you so much.